Hi, I'm Kerry.
And I'm Dee Dee.
And this is the Kerry and Dee Dee Show.
Hello, peoples.
What's up with y'all? So, in recent news, a young man was thrown off of an airplane for having his pants on,
Hanging down
sagging.
low. Yes, having his pants sagging. Yes.
And I'm wondering, okay, when he was sitting down, did someone say, "Oh, your pants are sagging"?
Okay,
because sitting down is
right.
It's no good.
But first off, okay, he go to get in line to get on the plane. When he was in line to he has to hand over his
boarding pass.
His boarding pass. Apparently, the lady asked him to pull up his pants. He said, "Okay, he'll pull them up," but he had his bags and he couldn't pull them up right away. But he couldn't pull them up right away, I guess. But he said his pants wasn't hanging like as low as they're saying, but I guess they were hanging some because he said he'll pull them up. So he go to get on the, she accepts his boarding pass. He goes to get on the plane, get ready to sit down. No problem. Then all of a sudden the pilot and I guess somebody else comes and tell him, "Look, we need you to exit the plane." He's like, "Why? What's the problem? We need you to exit the plane. Look, if you agree to get off the plane, we'll give you we'll refund you your money back for your ticket." He was like, "Okay," so he agreed. So he said as he was going to leave, walking through the I guess the thing, they come and rush him down and handcuff him and tell him that he's being arrested or charged with trespassing. Okay, so now I'm confused.
How do you get to trespassing?
I'm confused
That's what I can
as
understand.
to why he's being charged with trespassing. Y'all asked him to get off the plane because his pants were sagging. Okay, fine. First, this is confusing to me because you let him, if his pants were sagging and that was against the rules, you should have told him, "Hold up, before you can even enter the plane, you need to pull your pants up. And I will not take your boarding pass. You can't even get on the plane because that's unacceptable." But you let him on the plane. Okay, as soon as he gets on the plane and sit down, okay, did he even have time to pull him up? And what was the point of making him get off the plane and then arresting him and charging him with trespassing? Something that don't seem right to me.
It doesn't seem like the whole story because otherwise he has a big lawsuit on his hands.
But that's his statement.
That's exactly how it went.
But if that was exactly the way it went, something is wrong with that. But if there was some more, that he's not saying involved, then we have yet to hear that. But as far as what we're hearing now, it just doesn't seem right. How was he trespassing when he was leaving because you guys asked him to leave because he wouldn't pull up his pants? Now, first off, I'm really not a fan of these young guys wearing their pants half off their ass with all their underwear showing. I don't think it's appropriate, first off. But should someone be kicked off of a plane because of it? I'm not sure. Because once you're sitting down, who's going to see your pants? Now, if your pants are hanging below, off you, no, that's indecent. That's not decent. That could be considered what? Indecency, too, or something. Like,
Indecent exposure.
Like, now I can understand that, but first off, if he was not following the rules and he was indecently exposed, why would you let him on a plane?
But the biggest thing is, why when he's sitting down do you care now? Because he's sitting down.
Now he's sitting down. Like what?
It makes no sense unless there was some kind of
something else
transpired
or something.
I don't know. Are they trying to? I don't know, because at this point he's sitting down. It's too fucking late. Let's move on. And then say that the pilot has a citizen arrest. Okay, when was he arrested?
And he was arrested for trespassing. Now, did he?
He paid to get on there. He didn't sneak on the plane.
Right, he paid to get on. So
I don't get it, and
I don't get it. But I guess
stick with that.
There'll be more details to this story. But I really don't get it. But I don't see why he should have been arrested. First off, I don't think they should have went to that extreme. They should have, if anything, if he didn't want to fix his pants, y'all could have told him to get off the plane and let him go. And then if he want to get back on,
give him his ticket. Yeah.
And if he want to get back on, he'll fix his pants and then follow the rules as far as that. But to
just look, all right, put your pants up. He pulled his pants up.
Come on,
let's get it on, because now everybody's late because of this dude and this bullshit. Everybody's
right. It didn't make it wasn't a big deal.
Flight
I don't
is
think
late.
because your pants. Somebody else could have been getting on the plane with a damn who knows
A
what.
bomb. Who knows?
Why y'all worried about him with his pants half hanging down?
Yeah.
When all y'all had to do is tell him pull him up, and if he's lying and he really did refuse to pull his pants up, okay, that's another thing.
Yeah, that's a whole nother vibe.
But just based on the evidence and the information that we have from what's being said, it just don't seem right. But if there's some more details about this, we will let you guys know because it just sounds crazy to me. I don't know what the real motive or purpose was, but I think it just sounds crazy.
In other news, this is an Eddie Long thing again.
Oh gosh.
I know.
Please.
But some woman, he's preaching, and some woman rolls up with this big stack of cash
gosh.
and
I
gives
forgot
it
all
to
about
him.
that.
And then I see they pan over the church, and there's lots of people there.
Yes. They're gonna
I'm like, what is going
Everybody ain't
on?
gonna
And
leave
then
the
she
church.
gives him a big stack of cash. And she just
And
handed
walk
to him
up,
and walk up and hug him.
and then go back to
And then he said, your turn is coming. And then I'm like,
and then
is this a
everybody start
setup?
bringing money. Everybody start bringing
and
money.
people start bringing money. It's
Like what? Why? Like what? Is this a reward
I don't
for
get
your
it.
wrongdoings? Like what is this? This sending a bad message
I don't
and signal
get it.
to people.
I don't get it at all.
I don't get it, but I do get it because I've been in the church and I've seen that type of stuff. Not nobody bring up, but people come bringing their money. I've seen it.
I don't get it. I'm like,
I don't get it either. Child.
as a grown person with gray hair, I don't get it. It's like if you fucking what he's gonna do with that money. That money has to go and pay them boys off. Now I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. And
They don't get it either, apparently.
yeah, because I mean
But
the
guess
church
what?
looked full.
I'll tell you something.
It looked full.
Carrie, if they don't get it, that's on them. Because once you're exposed to the truth and you don't want to accept it, then it's on you. Then I don't feel sorry for you. Then.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to listen. You want to continue to be brainwashed. Then that's
You
what you're
want to
gonna
keep
get.
smoking cookies is yours.
That's what you're gonna get. You don't want to hear anything else. You think these people are perfect and they can just do whatever they want and then be rewarded. Like, what do you get out of that? Like, seriously. So bringing him stacks of cash, what does that mean? That's just me getting your cash.
Yeah, that means,
Even if
you can't buy a blessing.
like really, like come on.
You cannot buy. You can try. You can. I mean, go to work this week. This is what that's like. Go to work this week. Take your whole check on Friday and just go and ask to buy a blessing. Go to a psychic and buy a blessing from her. She can't sell you one. God won't sell you one. Blessings come from God. You can't buy them from the preacher. He can't pray in your name and get a blessing for you. You're gonna go home slighted by $2,000 or $3,000, whatever you make. You didn't buy a blessing, and all you did was prove to the world that you don't care what this person does. You're just gonna give him some money, and you want everybody else to give. But it seemed like a plan. I'm hoping that it was a plan.
Probably was.
But even if it was a plan, there were some stupid people that just brought up some money. Money is not what you need to give.
It's almost as if they forgot what just happened. As if they just tossed it out. And, you know what I mean? Like, if they
threw it into the sea of forgetfulness.
Amnesia. They just forgot what just went down. And there's no questions. If anything, I would have questions like, okay, so Bishop, like, he should have had a meeting with his congregation to say, hey, this is what happened. This is what went on. But how could you do that when you wasn't up front with him in the first place?
Yeah, what is your money worth?
So it's like,
is it worth? What kind of blessings are you getting? Me and my wife, we used to go every year to the New Year's service, and we used to look around. My wife, I love my wife, and but we'd be looking around and everybody praising, and one year I think it was the second year, I just looked around to see who was still praising for the same thing. Who was screaming, my year, my year. Sorry, baby, but
you know what? Let me tell you something.
But I pray enough. I mean, you got my wife every night. I pray to God. I love God. But
some of them people they
would be praising for a house and a car every year. And we knew some of these people, and every year I'm praying for a house and a car.
The same thing.
And you're broke again this year, and it's New Year, you're broke again. It's like, maybe you need to do something different in your life.
They don't know what to do different.
Take the word and do something different.
They don't
Take
know.
that money that you're talking about as seed money and tithe and go invest it into something.
They don't
and
know
bring
to do that.
and then it'll do something good for you, and then it'll do something good for the church. Because
Right.
if you go off and make 100,000, that's 10,000 that you're bringing, plus you're offering of 5,000 or 2,000. That's $12,000 that they got from you when they were only going to get about 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta be more business savvy with your
But
money.
they're not. See,
because the church doesn't really need your money.
But that's the whole point of setting up churches in the poor communities, because these people aren't business savvy. Maybe there are a few, but the majority of these people aren't. You know, they're living from, like you said, old ladies with Social Security checks. It's pretty much that way. It's people who are living on, you know, who have fixed incomes, and people who are living in, you know, poor communities. Why the church always set up in poor communities, especially in the poor black communities?
Look, I pray every night, and I read the Bible every day, and I pray for people that I don't even know. But my biggest thing is, I pray for people to do a new thing. Don't just go to church. Do a new thing. Get up and decide to do a new thing. You cannot go to the church, especially those big ones. You can't even talk to the pastor.
No, you can't.
We went to a church that was so big that I had to make an appointment to see the pastor. And then when I got my appointment, I didn't even see the pastor. I saw somebody else.
His representative.
Oh, well, I'm just as good. No, I wanted to talk to the minister that I've been under, not you. Oh, well, you know, didn't want to say that that's reserved for people with more money, more influence. They just basically, I sat and talked to this guy who couldn't help me and then moved on. And I wasn't looking for no money. I was looking for some mental stuff, some spiritual stuff, but I couldn't even get to that with a pastor. Do a new thing. Just erase what you learned last century and come into the new century, the new decade, and do a new thing. Take your money and invest it, and then bring the harvest from that seed into the church. It'd be much better for the church. But that's all I gotta say about that. Unless somebody else comes out, I'm paying the whole Eddie Long thing.
For good this time.
For good.
Unless something else comes up.
For good. But just do a new thing. Do a new thing. Do a new thing. These ministers are getting busted. They're going to church. I mean, jail. They're having sex in the church. They're robbing people. I mean, Lord, just go to Ringo for life. I mean, you putting something up that's on news.
Really?
Real news, not just you know, me and my wife jabber-jawing about what we read. This is news. This be like newscast. This preacher was raping this woman and
going to jail for stealing money, all kind of shit.
You can do whatever you want.
Go ahead.
And keep the pews full.
And the people just be
running.
It's like, that's the part that kills me. That's the part that I just can't understand. Like, man, it's like, if you don't know something, you don't know. You know, you don't know. You can't be faulted for something that you don't know. But there's too much access to knowledge. There's too much access to what's going on now. It's not like back in the we have the internet where you get information instantly.
Real time.
In real time. It's like, you don't have to guess about it. Now, everything that comes out isn't always, you know, truthful. But you can search it and you can investigate just yourself.
And pick
you know,
you
can decide. Don't just automatically believe something, regardless of who it is. You shouldn't just automatically take somebody's word, somebody you don't even really know, especially, and just take their word because you feel like you're so entrenched in them. I don't get it. It's like, please don't do that, because you're hurting yourself. Okay?
Yeah.
And then when these people constantly do things that is shady, it makes you should feel worse, because you just still sitting here supporting them.
And
you're not getting anything from it.
Yeah.
You know, so that's all I gotta say about that, y'all. And we gotta get out of here.
Yeah, we gotta get out of here. We got something to do. Y'all have a good one. Peace. And do something better with your life.